Terrible.
He took one question, and it was from Peter Ducey. And this is about, we heard that there was a second batch. Now, initially, they didn't tell us the second batch was at his house in Delaware.
Right.
So he's taking classified documents home and storing them next to his Corvette in the garage.
A secure facility.
And
sure.
We didn't play his entire answer, but I would like to point out that he read his answer like verbatim, and
Saw
it
that.
was so bad. And
So
I should have
bad.
just gotten the longer version, but anyway, it was just enough to make this point about the Corvette stuff. Gosh, watch this.
Classified material next to your Corvette? What were you thinking?
Because he said it.
What were you thinking?
Pause it for a second.
What were you thinking?
And he used, what were you thinking? Because that's what they kept saying about Trump.
Yes,
What were you thinking? So that's why Peter Ducey keeps doing that.
Yeah.
It's
yeah.
great.
And
He's
the
great.
Corvette piece that Ducey threw in there, Biden had just said that a couple of minutes ago, so he had that reference. He's the one that brings up this Corvette thing. I swear the man...
Well, he's showing off that Corvette.
Exactly.
He loves that stupid
Exactly.
Corvette. He
Yeah,
thinks
but
he's
he
something
does.
special with that.
And so
bad boy.
before he gets to his scripted remarks that his lawyers wrote for him, he can't help himself but to continue to mention this Corvette. It's so awkward, man. Oh, he sucks.
And here's
I'm
the
going to
answer.
get a chance to speak on all this, God willing, soon. But as I said earlier this week, people, and by the way, my Corvette's in a locked garage. Okay, so it's not like you're sitting out in the street. But at any rate,
Good.
Oh,
Good. That's good.
yes, as well as my Corvette. But as I said earlier this week, people know I take classified documents and classified material seriously.
Well, yeah. So seriously, you put them in the garage.
yeah.
They're airtight, sealed. Nobody can get to them that way. You might as well have put them in Fort Knox.
The ones you didn't keep in the garage, you kept in your office at the university.
Yeah.
Well, that
We know
was a
you kept them
closet,
there.
Right? It was a closet.
Nobody could break into a garage. We all know that, right? No
Right.
garage on this planet has ever been broken
Not
into.
if it's locked.
No, not if you lock it.
There's no words, man. We're done.
No words.
Out of
Seriously.
words.
And it was terrible him reading the,
gosh,
the
yeah.
Oh, it's
response.
awful.
Terrible.
Awful.
And-
I take classified
Inadvertent.
documents seriously.
It was. I don't know who was worse, him or KJP, reading the scripted
Oh, we'll
response
get to that.
to this. Yeah, I mean, really bad, really bad.
Yeah. So this video was circulating yesterday. I had not seen it in 2020, or else we would have certainly played it here. But he apparently did some video during the campaign that featured his old Corvette. I've never seen this.
Oh.
Now, I would like to point out there's one shot in this entire 90-second clip. When he cranks up the car, he's wearing a freaking mask in a convertible outdoors with no one around. Anyway, I don't know. This is
Well, it's the heat of the pandemic.
heat of the pandemic. Yeah, okay. Here, watch this nonsense.
I like to drive. I used to think I was a pretty good driver.
We used to think you were pretty good at a lot of things.
Look at his mask on. He's got his mask on.
I didn't get a chance to flat shift in the second. I was afraid I'd go through those guys.
Tomorrow morning, we're talking about cars and what car you'd like to see come back.
I love this car. Nothing but incredible memories. Every time I get in, I think of my dad and Bo. God, can my dad drive a car? Oof.
His dad and Bo.
The thing I like most is the setup right here. And you feel like you're in complete control. This is just boom. Now, you can stand in the front here.
Okay. That's cool.
This is iconic industry. How can American-made vehicles no longer be out
What's the
there?
gas mileage on that?
I believe
What's that do for the
we
environment,
can
Joe?
own the 21st century market again by moving to electric vehicles.
Oh.
And by the way, they tell me, and I'm looking forward, if it's true, to driving one, that they're making an electric Corvette and go 200 miles an hour. You think I'm kidding? I'm not kidding. So I'm excited about it.
Nobody thinks you're kidding.
Okay.
Why would I think you're kidding?
Hold on, Jeffrey. We got that.
Okay.
A Corvette.
All right.
A Corvette can always go just about 200 miles an hour, right? I mean, are there Corvettes that can only go 100? I don't think so.
Yeah, I think.
Yeah, but did you see?
Did you see who he's
how
backing
those
into?
headlights?
Oh.
Yeah,
The headlights
they
are cool.
popped up. They've got pop-up headlights. What an innovation.
That's American ingenuity right there.
Uh-huh.
What
Yeah.
was it? Jeffy, that you picked up
Those were
on
awesome.
there.
So as he's backing into that secure garage, you see just a stack of boxes and stuff just thrown in the corner.
So,
I'm sure that's not the secure location of all the documents.
Of course it is.
Texas Bizzle made me aware of this. I didn't catch this. Yeah, he's backing into the garage. First of all, is that where the documents were? Next to the Corvette in that pile of crap, like you're saying?
That's what they said.
I mean, this is madness, man. If that were, again, I swear, I mean, it's like during the Obama years, we said, if that were George Bush. And now in the Biden years, we say, if that were Donald Trump, I mean, what would they be? This would be a skit. I want to see Saturday Night Live this week. That better be. I want to hear about the old man's Corvette. Of course, they probably will make fun of him now because I think he's
persona non grata
they're
now.
bringing him down now.
Yeah.
They're starting to unwind this thing. Mm-hmm.
I feel like that. I feel like that is the case.
Yeah,
something is going on.
Definitely.
I mean, something is going on. I mean, he's terrible. So it makes me nervous that if things could get worse.
It can always get worse. I think we found that over the last few years. It can always get worse.
Now, the thing with the garage and stuff. Hunter Biden actually had met with the president. They went and found in those emails. They're like, oh, look at this. He has a meeting with the Penn University president at the White House. So now that's come to light. And also it's come to light that he lived at that house in Wilmington.
That was his house, right?
Yeah. So like he were those taken there by Hunter? I mean, this thing is gonna get crazy. It's gonna be fun.
You seen the house too? Have you seen the aerial of the house?
I have.
That's middle class Joe's house.
That is middle class Joe. That is middle class Joe.
Wow, it is big. It's a giant house.
It's a lot bigger than I had thought.
Me too.
I thought it was smaller than
I thought it was. I'm sure it was nice, but I thought it was not a mansion. That looks like a mansion. And how does he afford that on a salary of $174,000 for so many years?
So you've got one of two possibilities here that was Hunter's doing with the classified documents ending up there, which obviously doesn't look good for the White House. Or there's the Jonathan Turley was saying, Biden's got to be careful with this inadvertent defense because if those documents were taken for research for his book, which I guess the timeline matches up, and when he was writing the books,
ones at the university were,
yeah. I think he was referring to both batches, Turley.
Okay.
Anyway, but then it's obviously not inadvertent if you knowingly took them out to do research for your book and then just left them there. So either way, Joe Biden is.
By the way, this is when he was vice president, right?
Vice president.
So
which
he just
doesn't
inadvertently takes classified
you're not
documents.
supposed to be doing that. You can't do that as vice president. You can declare them unclassified, or you can declassify them as president. You can't do that as vice president.
Thank you. That needs to be said. Yes.
This should take him down. He should be impeached. Impeach the guy, and then convict him in the Senate and remove him from office. Then we'll deal with Kamala after that. Okay?
I know, but that's a scary thought in and of itself.
He needs to go. I don't care. He needs to go. He should not be in the office of the presidency. And if that's not clear to everybody by now, I don't know what you have to do. What do you have to do?
I think most people, after yesterday's insanity, are of that mind, both on the left and the right. Maybe they're just not saying it out loud yet, but he does have some defenders. He's got some people in there going to bat for him.
That's great. Like this Georgia Democrat, Hank Johnson.
Hank Johnson is back.
I'm a main man.
My response to it all is that alleged classified documents showing up allegedly in the possession of Joseph Biden. There's so much that needs to be investigated,
Okay.
And that's what I call for, is for everything to be investigated. But I'm suspicious of the timing of it.
Are you? Why?
I'm also aware of
pause
the
it for a
fact
second. I'm also suspicious of the timing because all this was discovered before the midterms.
Yes.
Why didn't we hear about it then?
Thank you.
I'm suspicious of that timing as well.
Thank you. They've been completely above board. And
bull crap. Why'd you wait 2 months then to share all of this?
Completely. We're communicating with the Justice Department. We've been on board with this all along. Have we?
We've already appointed a special investigator. Okay. What else did Hank have to say?
Can be planted on people.
What's that? It could be planted.
Places and things can be planted.
Planted.
That's what I meant.
Things can be planted in places and then discovered conveniently. That may be
I
what
wish he
has
was my
occurred
congressman,
here. I'm not
I'll tell
ruling
you
that out.
He's not
But
ruling
I'm open in terms of the investigation needs to be investigated.
The investigation needs to be investigated.
Okay, so we know that it's not. They weren't planted in the garage because Joe Biden just told us they were locked tight. They're secure.
That's
There's
the
no way you
thing.
can get
If they were
He'd be
planted,
the first to say.
right?
I didn't do that. I think they were planted. Please. It's so stupid.
My fear is that, the whole island will
of Guam
become so overly populated that it will tip over and capsize.
Yeah.
Well, the
Okay.
investigation needs to be
But
investigated.
hey, look. I mean, that's that guy right there is in Biden's corner. So
He's set.
formidable.
He's set. It's going to be tough to get past him. KJP faced the press yesterday and, of course, answered every question that came in about this classified document situation.
If you tuned in for one
Unbelievable.
question, you saw the only answer she gave the entire, I think it was 90 minutes. I mean, it went on, and it was the most brutal exercise.
And over and
of
over and over,
futility.
she just kept doing this.
First off, is the president willing to be interviewed by federal investigators about his handling of classified documents?
So first, let me just say I'm just not going to get into hypotheticals. This is something for the Department of.
I have a question. There's an investigation ongoing. Will the
And-
president
but
speak to investigators?
it's in ongoing review, right? You're asking
So?
me about something in the future, and I am telling you that I'm not going to get ahead of what the Department of Justice is going to decide.
Yeah, and that went on and on. I mean, every answer. And she was careful, I noticed, not to use the word investigation. She constantly called it a review from the Department of Justice. So we got to color the language there to make sure that we're not painting this as something bad. It's just a review. It's not an investigation.
Peter Doocy tried to get her to answer the question about whether or not the White House will release the visitor's log from the Wilmington House now, because that's where these documents were discovered, at the Wilmington House.
Of visitors to the Wilmington House.
You know, Peter, you've asked this question, or your colleagues have asked this question before. Let's not forget what we did here in this White House. We instituted something that the last administration got rid of, which is putting out the White House, making sure that there was a White House log, extensive White House log.
That's
so the
not
American
the question.
people got to see.
House where there is potentially unsecured classified material.
Right.
Again, I am telling you, we did something that the last administration got rid of, which is instituting.
Yeah, we don't care
the White
about that.
House.
Answer the question.
Can you pause this here, Kayla? I'm sorry. Okay, so, of course, like you said, she's answering a completely different question than was asked.
Yep.
But now she's at this point in the afternoon where she's had it. She's done answering questions about the document stuff. Mm-hmm. So then she tries to pivot off of Peter Doocy, you'll see here, to go to another questioner. But then when she realizes the guy starts to ask a question about the classified documents, she loses. She has to go to somebody else. I mean, she's at her end. I don't know how she shows up to work anymore.
Rid of the White House logs. Okay, let's go. Let's go. Well, did Fox did? Go ahead. Go ahead.
We have the records from the Delaware residents.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was calling the gentleman who wanted to ask a question that was not related to this. Go ahead.
Thanks, I know I'm a little behind the news cycle here, but I want to go back to yesterday's op-ed from the president on big tech.
Whatever. Oh, the big tech.
All right.
Yeah, okay.
Nobody cares.
Yeah, I know.
Why do you even bother doing the press conference? You're not at.
Well,
they don't answer a single question.
She came out. She had to come out and read the scripted answer to.
Well, that's what she should
the
do.
Classified documents.
Come out, read your scripted answer, and leave.
She's terrible at it.
She's the worst. I mean, the worst ever. Worst president ever has the worst press secretary ever. So I guess it's a good combination.
And they both stumbled through that.
punch.
Yeah.
Yeah. They both stumbled through the written response. It was really bad.
Gosh.
But does she have a Corvette that she name dropped in the middle of her
I don't
scripted deal?
think
I don't think she does. No, I don't think she does.
Well, then.
Yeah. But the good news, there might be an electric Corvette coming in our future. So we got that going for us.
Yeah,
all right.
Go a couple hundred miles an hour.
Yeah, 200 miles an hour.
If that man truly cares for the environment the way he claims to, he should drive that Corvette. No. Don't crank it up. You can do the combustible engine. No. You need to get it taken to a dumpster, a place where they crush the cars, the junkyard, right?
Mm-hmm.
If you truly care about the planet.
And
Joe.
the way the batteries work, you get that Corvette doing 200 miles an hour, you can probably go for 2 or 3 minutes.
Yeah, right. That's probably true.